Hey there everybody, it's markcrilley. I'm back with another video, and today I am debuting a new type of challenge video. I call it the 10-minute, 1 minute, 10-second drawing challenge. What I'm going to do is draw the same character 3 times. Over here I'm going to give myself 10 minutes, here just 1 minute, and here only 10 seconds. The character I'm going to be drawing is from my comic book series. Akiko came out in the 90s, and this character here is named Gax. You can't see the bottom part. He's got wheels, basically. That's what's missing from this illustration. But this is the character I'm going to be drawing. And I am indeed going to be timing myself. I've got my iPod Touch here. This is not product placement. I wish it were. Can you imagine those Apple Incorporated dollars? But let's stop goofing around. Let's go ahead and get on with it. I'm going to start the timer, and we're off. So over here, I've got like 10 minutes, so I can kind of do some rough guidelines to get started. I think on these other versions, I'm not going to have nearly that amount of time, so you're going to see me really fly through it. I am using my trusty black Prismacolor here. It's just a fairly ordinary black colored pencil. I suppose it is of higher quality than the very cheapest colored pencils, but I believe you can get similar effects even from inexpensive colored pencils. I use it mainly because it gets so dark, and people are always asking, what pencil is that? How do you get those dark lines? And yeah, really it is. It's just a humble colored pencil. It should not cost you that much to go out and get one. And so you see the shape of his helmet. It's sort of changed over the years. It used to be just round, and I started to give it a little bit of a sort of, what would you call that, a mushroomy kind of a shape to it. But my idea with Gax was always that he would have so many moving parts that I could never draw him exactly the same way twice. And so you're going to see this. He is sort of like, his body is a little bit like a squashed garbage can. And inside it, I draw a variety of pieces of junk, but they can always sort of be jostling around and go into different positions. But one thing that is a constant is this spring that has come unsprung. The unsprung spring. And I did way back at the beginning when I first invented this character, I did sort of, to make him look like a ragtag, certainly not brand new looking robot, I decided to give him a little spring that had come undone. And that has stayed constant. Tends to be over on this side here, on the right-hand side. Oh, I better keep track of the time. There's only 8 minutes left, less than 8 minutes left. There's generally a little box like this one here. And then sometimes, if I feel like it, I will add what looks like a piece of piping, like a plumber's job, leftover piece of piping here that's coming off to one side. And then after that, it's just sort of things that look like tin cans and various pieces of junk like that. Okay, and then there's always this little spoke, is that the right word, that comes off the top. To me, a little bit of a tribute to the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz, because he had like a sort of funnel as his head. Alright, now that I've got this, all the basic guidelines in place, I can start darkening things in. Now, one thing, incidentally, as part of this challenge, is I am only going to allow myself to sharpen the pencil after I have completed each version. So there will be one sharpening per challenge. I gotta say, giving 10 minutes, knowing that I'm about to do 1 minute and then 10 seconds, this feels leisurely by comparison. To have 10 minutes, I really can kind of take my time and not feel panicked. But this is, it's not my first time drawing Gax, but it is my first time drawing under a 10-minute deadline. I've sometimes given myself short deadlines to draw Gax. Sometimes, back in my public speaking days, I would do this. I would give myself a 30-second challenge, so I got fairly familiar with drawing him in 10 seconds? Almost never. I don't think I've ever challenged myself to draw this character. And we'll see how this video goes, if people enjoy it, if they think it's interesting. I may do other characters, not just my own. Maybe I'll try... I was considering doing Doraemon. The Japanese, I don't know if everyone knows this, sort of like a cat-like character that I believe comes from the future. It's like a robot character. He's got a little pocket that he can magically pull things out of. It's sort of like almost Aladdin's lamp. With this character, you can wish for almost anything, and ta-da! You can produce it magically from the pocket on his belly. I was thinking I might try that character. If you are familiar with that character, let me know. I thought that might be a good character for this 10-minute, 1 minute, 10-second challenge, because he is relatively simplistic in design, certainly compared to certain characters out there that are considerably more complex. But maybe that would make it even more fun if I try to draw a super complicated character. Let me know in the comments section. Oh my goodness, we're at the halfway point. Get moving, Crilly. I suppose if I budget my time, I should allow at least the last 3 minutes for shading. Something like that. I'm already starting to get into the shading down here. Am I going to have time for shading when I get to the 10-second version? I highly doubt it. Now, one thing that's happening is already this pencil is starting to lose its sharpness. But one little tip for you, just to make this at least semi-educational, is that, when you have your pencil at a low angle to the page, you are going to get wide lines just because there's more of the lead being exposed to the page. If, even with a dulled pencil, this one is really relatively dull by this stage, if you want it to get a fine line, you go very vertical to the page, and you will still be able to produce a somewhat fine line. Little tip for today: when you can't sharpen your pencil, there's a loss of control there, I find, when I try to draw with my pencil almost vertical to the page, but it can be sort of a nifty little trick of the trade. Oh my goodness, we're coming up to the 7-minute deadline. It is sort of nice to... I don't know if you heard that. There's a little bit of a rainstorm. There was some thunder. I know I do the lightning round in some of my videos. This time it's the real thing. I don't know if it's showing up, if you can hear it. Sometimes people are listening with headphones. They can hear these things. Crilly, stop talking about thunder. It has nothing to do with art. Anyway, how about a drop shadow? We've got so much... time here with this 10-minute version. I think I can afford to spring for the drop shadow. Will I be able to do a drop shadow in the subsequent versions? Stay tuned. This also marks one of my rare real-time videos. Of course, if this first one is all real-time, which it is, the other 2 will be real-time as well. And some, people like when I do real-time videos. Maybe this will be a good way of achieving that by doing challenges such as this, where I have the stopwatch over here. Oh my goodness, it's still moving. I'm going to get a few bolts here that were patches and things that have been replaced over the years. I feel like I have enough time to sort of get into shading here. And people hate it when I smear lines with my fingers, but I thought, let's see if I can achieve a little bit of smooth shading here. Since I have that extra time. It's sort of interesting to think that 10 minutes could seem leisurely, but it sort of does, knowing that I'm heading towards something that is much more challenging. Let's get a little drop shadow across the underside of the helmet. And maybe with this remaining time, I can devote myself to adding contrast to the illustration. Certainly, that is a luxury I will not have in the other 2 versions. That last one, 10 seconds? You gotta be kidding me. Who came up with... Oh, wait, I came up with it. But it should be interesting. I like to do challenges. They're fun, but I also like every video I do to have at least some sort of educational aspect to it. And this one, hopefully, becomes about the line quality that is created by way of fast lines versus slower lines. This one still fairly sketchy because I was, wanting to keep it moving. But these other ones, I think you're going to see truly zippy lines as I speed through the illustration. Okay, we're down to the last 30 seconds or so. What should I do with this remaining time? I have to judge wisely as the time speeds away. I probably will pause the video when I get to that 10-minute mark. Give myself a breather, but like I said, I'm going to just sharpen the pencil just the one time, and then we will be back for the much-awaited 1-minute version of Gax, and it is time to lay down the pencil. Did I overstay the 10 minutes? Maybe by a touch. Sorry about that, folks. It's my first time doing one of these. Let's go ahead then, take a quick break, and I will be back for the 1-minute version. Alright, so I have sharpened my pencil for that one glorious time. I'm going to reset the stopwatch, and whew, here we go, guys. 1 minute, and I will try my best to lay the pencil down at exactly the 1-minute mark. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, now I'm pretty sure this time I don't have time for any preliminary lines, so I'm just going to go ahead and get down to business here. It's looking, thank goodness he's a rusty looking robot, because he's looking pretty rusty right from the get-go. Oh my goodness, I'm coming down. I better stop goofing around. I should probably just stop talking. I think the bottom part is going to be sketchier than the top part. We're at the halfway point, folks. Halfway point. Changing the location of some of the junk. Got to get this spring in here. Hurry up, you are running out of time, Crowley. Go, go, go. You've only got less than 15 seconds left. Time is a-wasting. Ooh, I should have started much more quickly than I did, but it's time to stop. There you go, folks. The difference between 10 minutes and 1 minute. I am sad to say that this is, it's looking better here than it is down there, but there you go. I am not going to cheat it. We are just going to leave it as it is. Okay, let's go ahead and reset, and I will go sharpen this pencil. Not that it's going to matter that much, but I am going to be back for the final 10-second challenge. Alright, well, clearly we need to move this little guy over to one side. Sorry, Gax, I'm blocking you out here, but, man, I don't know about this. 10 seconds? 10 seconds is a very tight deadline. I'm going to have to do this. I guess I'll do the left hand with the start button so that I can immediately start with the right hand on the drawing. Wish me luck, folks. 10 seconds, and go. Get those tires in there. Spring and down. There you go, guys. 10 minutes. 1 minute. 10 seconds. What a drawing. I didn't even get the dots in his second eye. That's pretty bad. But I got the spring in there. And I guess that's 4 wheels. I'll leave it to you to decide. Hang on a second, folks. I'm going to grab my books so that I can thank anyone who has supported me by getting them. Sadly, the Akiko books have gone out of print, but Miki Falls is still available, as well as Brody's Ghost, my other comic book series from more recent years. Also, there's the Realism Challenge, my book on hyperrealism, The Drawing Lesson, a graphic novel that teaches you how to draw, and my very latest book, Mastering Manga 3. I'm always super, super appreciative of anyone who helps me out by getting these books, and let's take one last gander at these 3 different versions. Whew! I'm kind of scared to see what this will be like when I try to draw a character that is not my own. It was hard enough drawing a character I was really familiar with. But let me know what you thought of the 10-minute, 1-minute, 10-second challenge. I'd be happy to do more of them, and who knows, maybe we'll see some of these other YouTube artists out there giving it a try. But for now, I'm going to lay down this pencil. I want to thank you all for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with another one real soon.